What's up, Wargamers? Welcome back to World of Wargaming. I'm so thrilled that you've chosen to come down my rabbit hole and spend a little bit more time rolling dice with me. Today, as the title implies, we're going to be playing Mission 3 from Reign in Hell, the Oculus Spear. Now, if you've just somehow randomly stumbled upon this channel and me and all the stuff I'm doing here, and this is your first time hearing about Reign in Hell or the Oculus Spear, pause. Don't proceed, but also don't panic and don't leave. We'll put a link right there for you. That's scenario 1. These missions are designed to be played in order and sequence, so you wouldn't play them out of order, so probably shouldn't watch them out of order. But then again, you can do whatever you please. If you want to start right here, you have at it. But if you want to start at the beginning, there's the link to do so. So a little background information. Reign in Hell is a solo expansion for the game Reign in Hell from Snarling Badger Studios, this is written by Adam Loper from over at Tabletop Minions, along with Vince Venturella. Really, really, really solid, fun, quick game. Not a whole lot of rules. A whole lot of blood. It's a win. This game is fun. It's a win. Get it. Go to Wargame Vault. Get it. You will not regret it. Especially if you have a large model collection already and a varied model collection where you can kind of just jump in. Because it is a minis agnostic game. So it's not like they make models or anything for this. You just, use whatever you want, have at it, and have a good time, and roll dice and punch stuff in the face, man. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. If you're still hanging around and you haven't hit the like and the subscribe button and maybe even the bell notification so you can get notified when I post new content, do that for me. It helps out a whole bunch. If you'd like to help out further than that, and you look down in the descriptions below, there's a link to my Patreon account where I have several different tiers of patronage that vary pretty widely in price, from very, very minimal up to not terribly expensive. My highest tier is $25, but that's beside the point. I don't want to keep up too long with that. Just wanted to mention it, that if you enjoy what I'm doing, help me to make more of it. With that being said, let's take a look at the mission for Scenario 3 and the table, and let's get into it.
You have retrieved the Oculus Spear, a relic of legendary power that grants the bearer the ability to see into the future and bind fate itself. At least that is what the legends have said. Try as you may, the spear will not reveal its true power. It is clear that the Oculus Spear has a vast storehouse of soul power within it, but it consistently resists your attempts to tap into this power at more than a surface level. There is also the minor issue that you have no idea where the city of Javek could be located. The cities of hell long ago fell into ruin, and now there is little difference between a city and the wasteland that surrounds it. So far, your great plan of ascendancy has not worked out exactly as you envisioned. You have been camped in a ravine now for several days as you attempt to unlock the power of the spear, and it seems that, unfortunately, your enemies have caught up to you. Rock falls from the canyon edges alert your cabal that enemies approach, and you ready for battle.
The game lasts 5 rounds. You are victorious if at any point in the game all of the enemy demons are slain, or if at the end of round 5 you, or your ally and you, if you're playing in a co-op game, have the leader with the Oculus Spear still alive. If the leader carrying the Oculus Spear is slain, or the cabal that has the Oculus Spear retreats, the scenario is lost.
All right, so this is our table for today. We've got the 3 mandated crags that the mission calls for. In addition to that, it says to roll for heavy terrain. So that's 5 rolls on the terrain table. We got 2 swamps, 2 forests, and a shrine. The shrine rolled as cursed. The forests rolled as 1 regular and 1 soul infused, and both of the swamps rolled as just regular plain old swamps. So let's take a look at the models we'll be using to play this game of Reign in Hell Oculus Spear today, and then let's get to rolling some dice. All right, so here we are all deployed up. So this mission calls for 6 enemy models, one of which is a executioner. It's the first, so greater executioner, and then 5 of his minions, which are spine fiends. The role of the spine fiends will be played by some plague bearers of Nurgle from Games Workshop, while our lead villain will be played by this old school metal Croxagore. I kind of shirk to call them heroes, but our cabal of demons, the Arbitus Infernus, are deployed in the middle of the board. This is meant to represent an ambush where this fellow is seeking to take the Oculus Spear from our leader, Emma O. One quick point of reference before we get into this. In this game, crags are treated as impassable terrain unless you have flying. This piece of terrain is quite large, especially on this 22 by 30 board. So what I'm going to do is say that the footprint of this is not actually part of the crag. It's just this cluster of rocks that sits on top, which opens up the board a little bit more, especially considering the size of his base getting, through and over to here. And it makes sense to do it that way, so I'm playing by myself. Who's going to tell me not to do it that way? All right, so that's our board setup, table, teams, cabals. Let's get into turn 1. Initiative, go. Pretty decent roll. That's going to let me get the jump on them for most of this round. And in this mission, this guy is always going to be gunning for her. So I kind of deployed with a bubble around her. And I'm going to try, since I have 2 activations before they get any, I'm going to try to deal with one of these other threats here or here and kind of try to make him come to me. So let's see how that pans out for me. All right, let's get into it. So Kenshin is within range to charge this spine fiend, so he is gonna get in there. Combat 6 plus 1 for the charge against combat 6. That's 7 on 6. Looking for 2s. Pretty decent. Combat 6 on that demon. Looking for 6s. Blocks 1. Takes 5. Bringing that demon down to 2 health remaining. Second activation on 12, Okina. It has got the range to make a charge into this plaything. Again, considering that this most bottom part of this terrain feature does not technically count as being the crag. So he's got enough to skirt around there and get a lick on him. Combat 6 plus 1 for the charge on combat 6 for the spine demon, looking for 2s. 2 fails. Spine demon looking for 6s. Blocks 1, takes 4. Down to 3. First activation for the demons is super simple because the rules say that he will always go first. So he's just going to move 5 inches towards Emma, ending his movement right there. All right, so since these spine demons are not within 7 and this Spine Demon is not within 7. That means we go to step 2 in our algorithm for the AI, and that is going to be one of these guys swinging into one of those guys. We're going to randomize that. Okay? Even for Okina. Odd for Kenshin. So I was going this way to this way. I did it for targets. So this one is going to attack, and it's going to attack Kenshin. The Spine Fiends in this scenario cannot use any combat styles other than charge. So this is just going to be a raw 6-on-6 looking for 3s. That's a pretty good roll for me. 3 successes. I block 1. Take 2. Down to 5 health remaining. Alright, so I thought about this for a while. And since I have 2 activations before they get to go again, I'm going to try to get in here with him and her on my next 2 activations and just outright deal with this leader. Because he's the same as him, but tougher, and he's scary. So let's see what happens. Well, it would appear that there is not room to fit Emma and him in. So I don't want her to die. I don't want him to die either. But I really don't want her to die. Not with that new spear. And he's got her old artifact. So see if I get, maybe by getting the jump on him, I can do some work here. +1 for the charge. Looking for 2s. 1 miss for 8 hits. However, I do have a nat 6, so that'll be an automatic 2 damage going on to the greater executioner. Making a save roll. Oh my goodness, of course he would. Of course he would. Look at that. Blocks 4 of my damage. So he'll take 4 plus the 2 for a grand total of 6 damage. So since Emma just can't make it into combat with him right now because of the crag, I'm going to move Baku up his 4 and bait these guys in where I can get a good charge with Emma and probably with him as well. Those 2 Spine Demons on the north table edge are pretty much equidistant from Baku, so we're going to do an even or odd. Even for the left one. Odd. So the right one will charge Baku. Combat 7 with the charge bonus on combat 4 for my corpulent demon. And he can reroll 3 of these for being a spine demon. So looking for 2s. Doesn't need any rerolls. 7 against Baku's combat 4. Come on, Baku, spike that roll like old Executioner did. Nope, nothing. Taking the full down to 8. This might not have been a good idea. Next demon, charging in. Same thing, looking for 2s with reroll. That's going to be 7 successes, looking for 6s here. Still nothing. 7 more damage, down to 1. This was a bad idea. Although, I might get a title out of it. So, Kirito right here has got a 6-inch movement as a Slaughter Fiend, which is plenty enough to wrap around the backside of this Spine Demon. And hopefully do some work. Combat 7 with the charge bonus, looking for 2s. Getting 5 successes. But they block none, so 5 damage, taking them down to 2. With Emma O's movement of 7, she's going to turn and come in hot on that spine. All right, so Emma is currently combat 10. Base 6, +1 for the Oculus Spear, +1 for charging, and +2 for being a zealot. So that's 6, 1. Well, yeah, that's 10. So looking for 2s. Okay. That is 9 successes. I don't even really have to roll here because he's only got combat 6. So 3 of those is automatically going to go through. He's only got 2 health. But we're here to roll dice, my friend. Boom! Looking for 6s. Nothing. Dead demon. Let me pluck him gently, because I don't want to wreck the whole table. All right. So far, so good. That's 1 down, 5 to go, and I get a soul dice. So this little guy right here, he's within 7 of Shoka. However, he's currently experiencing the same problem that she did, in that he cannot fit through there physically. So he's going to have to go around. Ending his 7 inches of movement right there, leaving this spine demon to take a swing at 6 on 6, looking for 3s. 1 fail. 6, looking for 6s. Ooh, good job, Okina. You're remembering from when you used to be an armor demon in my other solo campaign. Knocking out 3 of their damage, taking 2. Bringing me down to 8. So I definitely messed up a sequence there. I think I went out of turn once, but I don't think it's going to have a huge impact on the game because those demons had already activated, so they were going to get smoked regardless of when I moved my models. Still have Homori. Not really sure what I want to do with him, though. Now, as a tentacle beast, Homori here is not very powerful. However, he is quite fleet of foot. He is quite quick. So he's going to charge this demon here. Probably not going to be a super effective combat, but it will keep him at bay for a few minutes, and it'll negate their charge bonus, which is kind of a big deal. Homori charging into the spine demon is combat 4 with +1 for the charge, but because he's a tentacle beast, he gives the demon -1, so it's 5s on 5s, looking for 3s. Initiative. So this is excellent. However, the rest, not so much. But it's okay, I will get to activate first. I do have a chance to murder this fellow. And I also have a roll-off to see who will get to activate first on 11. So off gate, we're definitely getting in there with Shoka O onto the Executioner again. 9 with the focus combat bonus, looking for 2. And that, fellow Wargamers, is a superb roll. That is, still a superb roll. 8 hits with a nat 6, so that's going to be 2 damage off gate. Let's see if we make some drop dice. Bane of my existence. That's a cocked one. So 2 blocks. Whew. That's still going to be 8 damage. Dead demon. Yes! That's a big deal, because that thing is scary. I feel like I may have skeeted the mic there, and if I did, I apologize. I'm a naturally excitable person, and sometimes it gets out of check. Anyways, this is going to be a high-low roll. It's going to be a high roll to see whether I get to activate first, or the demon, the opposing cabal, gets to activate first. 5 on 1, that'll be my activation. Now, with this 11, what I should do is activate Baku, combat skirmish, and get him out of there. However, I don't want to open her up to attack, or him, and I kind of want to get a title with somebody because I haven't done that yet, and I really, 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 really want to. So we're going to leave him there, and we're going to come down here and we're going to swing with Kenshin because he has the next most damage on him. With focus combat, this will be 7 on 6, looking for 2s. 6 out of the 7, looking for 6s to block. Blocks 2 of them, takes 4. At 2 health, that's still enough to make a dead demon. So that'll be a soul die for the spine demon, getting a 3, and also a soul die for the executioner that I forgot to roll. Also a 3. We pull one of the demon 11s because the executioner that I killed would have he has to activate on the 11, so one of those dice would have been his. Normally, if I just killed a random demon, I would have pulled from the bottom end, but because he always activates first, it felt right to pull one of the 11s. So for this 11, we're going to roll a d3, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, since they're all engaged within an inch. 1. Him into Homori. Successes, looking for 6s to block damage. Blocks 1, takes leaving 4. That demon at 3 health. Demon into Homori is combat 5 because he's within an inch of a tentacle beast. So looking for 2 still because Homori is combat 4. 2 misses. I'll take it. Looking 3 for 6s. None. Homori will take, bringing him down to 6. After a moment of confusion, for there being more dice than there were demons, I remembered that Kenshin killed this demon on 11 and removed one of their dice, that 2 that was here. So both of these demons on 7s are going to go before I get to do anything else on 5. So we'll do an even or odd, where even is on the north side. Eve's on the Baku's combat 4, looking for 2s. Combat 4 for Baku, looking for 6s. Look at you, big guy. You block 2 of them. You take 2. However, unfortunately, you are at 1. All right, so last demon activation of turn 2. And we're on this spine demon. And Okina's closer, so that'll be his target. He couldn't charge no thing, so looking for 6s on 6s, 3s. Couple of misses there. Getting 4 successes, I need 6s. Alright, block 2, take 2, taking me 2, 6. And the rest of the round is me. So there is potential here for maybe I can finish out the game right here and now. But we shall see. So my next action on a 5 is going to be Okina. Swinging into that spine demon. Okina is a slaughter fiend, so he gets an extra dice for his focus combat, looking for 2s. That is 8 successes, friend. This should be a dead demon, even if they spike the roll, which they do get a good block roll. However, that's 3. That is a dead demon. And I get a soul dice. Another 3. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Up next, I'm going to activate Kirito, who is, I think, within an inch, but not within a half inch. So I guess he'll have to skirmish up to him. Bonuses here, just 6s on 6s, so looking for 3s. Alright. 2 misses. No, I want to save my soul dice for the end of the game. So 4 for 6s. Alright. 2 blocks. 2 damage taken. Down to 5 because that one hasn't taken any damage. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to clean up this round unless Homori can really get in there and do some work. And I don't know about that. So Emma is going to charge and swinging at combat 10 on... I dropped a dice. Oh, Lord help me. 10 on 6, looking for 2s. Miss 1. Alright. 9 for 6s. No 6s. There are 5. That's dead demon. They sold dice for me for killing a thing. Last up is Homori the Tentacle Beast. Let's see if he can do some work. So Homori is combat 4, but he lowers the slaughter or the spine demon's combat by 1. So that makes it on a 5. Still needs 4s. 1 hit. Alright. Demon needs a 6. Does not block, so 1 damage. goes down to 2. So that will close out round 2. I managed to kill everything except for this one guy right here. This one little spine demon left. So we're going to go into round 3 and roll some initiative dice. Ending up with an okay roll. I do have the chance. My dog just unplugged the light. I'll get it plugged in by the next clip. But I do have the chance to kill this off before anything bad can happen. So let's see. Let me plug the light back in and let's see what happens. So I'm going to start off with Homori. And I'm going to do a combat skirmish so that I can get out of the way of someone else who might can get in there and finish off the job if he doesn't. So combat 4, looking for 4s. I'm going to make one of these 4s into a 6 with a soul dice. So 3 needs 2 6s to stay alive. Does not get them. Dead demon. Soul dice. Doesn't really matter what it is. And that is a victorious completion of the objectives of this mission scenario for Rain in Hell. Hang out for a minute or two and we'll jump into a post game. Okay, so that was a little bit of a blowout for me. Last time I tried that did not go that smoothly. Being able to knock out that Executioner Demon, the opposing Executioner Demon, early was a big deal. The last time I played that campaign, that guy ran amok through my Cabal. I mean, he just wrecked me. But luckily, that was not the case today. I was victorious. Thank you, Homori, for coming in at the very end. The Tentacle Beast has always been really good for me as a way of just kind of slowing my opponent, like the opposing demons, down a little bit, but never ever really did any damage. And he came through there in a big way for me, just completely shutting out the game. At the very beginning, first activation around 3, I had a 12, and I was just like, well, he's in there. And two, with the skirmish too, like, no, but albeit I did have to use a soul dice there. Sorry if you hear my dog Cannoli, the World of Wargaming hound. He's being a little extra this evening, so I apologize if that makes its way into the sound bite. But with victory comes reward and also the chance that bad things can happen to you. Okay, first things first, since I did have Baku, my corpulent demon did die, we got to roll on the death chart. 2d12. 7 is weakened. I can either move life. I can choose either move life or combat and reduce the chosen ability by 1. I'm going to reduce his life by 1 because he's a pretty chunky boy. He's got a fair amount of health. And on top of that, at the beginning of his activation, whenever he activates, he heals up 2 damage. So I don't feel like that's going to be too critical of a problem for me in the long run as I move through the rest of the campaign. For the record, that debuff drops him down to a whopping 14 life. Step 2 would be to cull the weak. I'm still not going to cull anybody. I'm pretty happy with the work that everybody's putting in for me, so I'm going to let it ride. Reward tables, though. This is what we're waiting on. All right. Big money, no whammies. Don't do me like that again. Okay. 10 plus 6 is 16. Roll once on the relic table. Okay, it's getting hot. All right, please. Oh, God, drop the dice. Let me get another one. Oh, please give it to me. 11 plus 5 is 16. Reliquary. I'll take it. I got a thing that was nothing found. Finally. Reliquary. Once per battle, when this demon activates, I may choose to increase their move or combat ability by 1 for the duration of that activation. Okay. So I've been sitting here staring at this sheet for about 10 minutes, trying to figure out who to give this reliquary to. And at this point, I think that I'm just going to default it to Hamori for winning the game. It's not an incredibly powerful reliquary. He's got a pretty healthy movement, so I can always use it to boost his combat, which is pretty miserable at a 4. And maybe it can get him into some situations where he's wounded on 3s or 2s instead of 5s. Or no, not 5s, 4s. So, who would you have put it on? Let me know in the comments. Who would you have given this relic to? Because I don't know. He won the game. He won the game, so I guess he gets to keep the ball. That's the way it works, right? You win the game, you get the ball. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, what would you have done? Who would you give it to? If you make a good point, I can always shuffle these things around. You make a good enough point, I may give it to the person, the model you recommend. Okay, so next, I have to try to empower the spear with the blood of my enemies. So I've got 5 soul dice. And I'm not certain that I'm reading this correctly. So if you think differently, or if you know differently, let me know in the comments. But the way this is written, it says, I may contribute dice 1 at a time, and each time I contribute a dice, roll a dice. On a 1 to 4, nothing happens. On a 5+, the spear is empowered and utilizes the new rules below. Any soul dice used in this fashion may not be converted into souls for currency. You must allocate all dice you wish to use in this fashion at once. Once I've made the allocation, no additional dice can be added. So I'm reading that as I can choose, first I choose how many I want to try to roll, and then I roll them, and I'm allowed to roll them 1 at a time. And if I get a 5 up, I empower the spear. So, I mean, I'm going to be short on souls this game, but that's okay, because I'm really, at this point, just using my souls for expedition. So I'm going to allocate all my dice, and we're going to see what happens. 5. 5. Oh, no. Yes! 5. Thank you. So upgrading the Oculus Spear means that now, instead of just the +1 combat or playing +1 life that it was, or maybe it was just +1 combat. But either way, now I get 2 combat and 1 life. And before, you still have the once per game. When you make a combat defense, you can set 3 of those dice to a 6. But now, instead of that just being the end of it, when the leader kills a demon, instead of gaining a soul dice, you can instead recharge and reset the ability, allowing you to do it again. Combined with the philosophy bonus for being a judge, where the first time you die, you get to bounce back. This is why I was so excited to get the dice roll, because this really steps up the durability of my leader moving forward in the campaign. Okay. I get some titles this game. I'm really excited about this. Been waiting for this. So, Emma, Shoko, Okina, Kirito, and Kenshin all gained the Survivor title for not dying for 3 games in a row. With that comes the bonus of +1 to your life total, which Kenshin, as a spine demon, is a little bit squishy, so it seemed like the right play. Now, a demon can have any number of these titles, and they all come with their random little buffs. You have any number of them, but the Cabal itself can only ever have one instance of that title active. But I would assume that you can, switch them around as long as they've got access to the one you're giving them. I also, for Baku, as being the first one to die, or the demon to die first in 2 games over any number of games, he becomes Baku the first to fall, which gives him an extra 3 move for their first activation. Okay, so on the leveling up phase, Emma goes up to 9, and I realized that I had not made note of the last level that she got at 5, so she's going to have +1 move. She should have had a +1 move in that game, but that's beside the point. I also noticed that the XP was off on Kenshin. It wasn't wrong, it just means that he had died at some point. So he could not have then earned the Survivor title. So I took that off of him and moved it to Kirito the Slaughter Fiend. And that will take us to the last step. My current expedition that I have out. I need a 4 up on this roll to get a roll on the rewards table. Yes! Okay, 2d12. That's a 10. No reward found. At least I got one thing out of it, so I'm not gonna complain. I finally got a reward. We'll take the money and run. So that'll be, I have 36 souls currently. I'm not going to gain any souls this game, but I am going to spend some souls, going to 26, to send out another expedition.
Thank you so much for stopping by, spending some time with World of Wargaming today, doing what we love to do, roll dice and punch stuff in the face. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more of it, subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you get alerted when I post new content. If you liked it and enjoyed it enough that you feel that you'd like to do a little bit more to help make sure that I can keep putting out content for you, consider looking in the description below where you'll find a link to the Patreon account where you can contribute as little or as much as you like within the bounds of reason, of course. And either way, whether you do any of those things, I want you to know that I'm incredibly grateful that you stopped by and spent a part of your day with me. And as always, until we see each other again, may the dice be ever in your favor, friend.